Good morning, traders, and happy hump day. It is 10:06 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to another video with Digital Goatz Academy. I'm your host, Antoine Farah, and I decided to do something a little bit different today. So don't be upset with me if this doesn't actually pan out the way we would like to. But if you're tuning into this video, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. So what I decided to do today was broadcast from my phone. I'm actually traveling. It's my youngest son's birthday today, so I didn't bring my regular equipment, which would have been, my laptop, my PC, and how I normally introduce the market to you guys. So give me a second. So what I decided to do was actually do my live trading. I do have my tablet here, so I'm gonna trade off of that. But as far as speaking to the audience, speaking to the community, I'm gonna do that off of my phone. So let's see how that pans out. So S&P 500, right? Let's talk about what happened pretty much yesterday. So yesterday we can see that one thing that we wanted to see was a close above yesterday's candle. Is this a daily time frame? Yes, it is. And what happened pretty much today is that the market, well, last night, London, the market pushed all the way down. I think everybody can see my cursor, but the market pushed all the way down where this wick at on this, what is that? On this daily candle that opened just now. So the market pushed all the way down, basically getting almost 100% of this candle. So that'll probably have been like, I don't know, like 786, which is what our reversal area for the market, right? So S&P pretty much retested this zone and pushed up this morning. 9:30. Well, no, CPI data came out today, right? So with CPI data coming out, it made the market react actually the way we expected it to. So the market did actually push up, and we kind of expected that from CPI only because that during London the market pushed down. And if you've been following the trend of the market, what has it been consistently doing around like London? Pushing down, then buying back up New York, then obviously 9:30 comes through. And now it's just at this point just understanding the break and retest. Understanding that, okay, CPI this morning, it pushed up. And one thing we talked about in our community was that you needed to be in the trade in order for it to have been valid for you. So that's what we did. Well, that's what I did. I was already in the trade. Obviously, I had to be in drawdown. The market spiked up, but then the 9 o'clock candle comes out and it's going to do what? It's going to start correcting itself. We don't know how far down, or the only thing you can do as far as like parameters is look for EMAs. And like I said, we'll talk more about using EMAs because that's kind of like another form of an entry you can use in the market without needing like Fibonacci or even trying to draw a zone for break and retest. So what I'm trying to do is dissect the market down. Let me see. So again, it broke out. This was CPI data this morning. And again, it only looks volatile because of how the market is moving at that time. But I'll be honest, today was the day that I didn't even fucking flinch. Excuse my French, but I didn't even flinch when the market did because it's repetitive so much that you just start seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to go on like a motivational tangent today, but we're seeing this stuff. And again, like the way the market responds is exactly how we're wanting to see. So S&P, it dropped down, it popped up this morning, and then 9:30 or 9 o'clock candle was bringing the market down. And then obviously we going into 10 o'clock, it brings the market up. You know what I'm saying? So as long as like 10, 11, 12 start having bullish momentum, that's telling us where this market wants to go. Now, I don't think it's going to try to test lower than where it's currently at. So this is the 33-minute time frame. Now that is a custom time frame that I've created. So I do recommend, traders using these custom time frames just to get a better view of how the market is displaying it. So it's a 30-minute. Looks about the same. So that was that move that got pushed down. And one thing that I've said about like the 9 o'clock candle, what I'm normally looking for, I want to see if the market pushes down, then I'm almost certain that we're buying back up, but I want to see it close that way. And then if the market like pushed up, we're definitely, well, we're probably selling. But again, don't stay true to that because there have been situations where it does like a shallow pullback. So these moves would have to be major or like maybe close to almost 100% of the move that it made. So, for example, right here, the candle that opened up at CPI data, which was the 830 candle, obviously that's going into New York, and that's the first set of data that's filtering in the market from New York, right? So it spiked up. It spiked up, and then 930 came through. What did it do? Matter of fact, of this candle, it got more than 100% of this candle. You see what I'm saying? So the 930 candle pushed all the way back down to 60.32, which was the opening, which was the close of the 8 o'clock candle. You see what I'm saying? So you should expect that. You know what I'm saying? Like you should expect those moves. And just to simplify it, what is that a form of? Break and retest. You know what I'm saying? Break and retest within the market. So as long as we're seeing this bullish momentum, which I hope it keeps up. Now, again, one thing that you can do to measure the momentum is go to the Hakanashi candle. So that's what I use to measure momentum. And that gives me more confidence on the direction flow of the market. Now, that's saying that we're still sharing. A call came through. I think we're still sharing. Yeah. So what was I saying? What am I trying to do? This call is messing me up. Oh, we were saying Hakanashi. Yeah, this call is messing me up. But anyway, so where is it at? It's making it very difficult on my phone. I wouldn't say very difficult, but well, I guess it slows the teaching down a little bit. I know I go a little fast. So the momentum came from these two candles, and currently it's consolidating. So as long as this current candle on the 25-minute, or if you just want to look at it as 30-minute candle, as long as it starts pushing up, or in the next sequences we start getting bullish candles, like yeah, it's more than likely still going up. But as you can see, it's consolidating right now. Whenever it's creating dojis in the form of Hakanashi, it's just consolidating. Which again, what have we talked about? The move after when consolidation comes and it's after a move, a strong move, that's normally just a correction to keep going in that direction, right? I wasn't even trying to rhyme. Don't unfollow me. Don't unfollow me for that. But for real though, like it's just correcting itself. You know what I'm saying? Like almost this is how I kind of envision the market, especially when you look at it in a line chart form and it starts consolidating. I look at it like a bunch of squiggles. Like imagine like a kid just they're drawing a line, but they can't stay in the line, so they start squiggling, you know what I'm saying, before they go back into a straight line. That's how I look at consolidation when it shows itself like this, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like the momentum is up. Let's actually look at it on the hour because that was the last move that we were looking for. Yeah. So again, Hakanashi candles are still bullish, and this is only on the hour time frame. And this candle that's open right now, this could be the candle that sets the tone, probably for like the rest of the year. I mean, I don't want to get beside myself, but whenever you see the momentum building like this, one, we can all agree that we're up. But whenever you see the momentum building like this, by the time it gets to that candle that's showing you, like, you see what I've always talked about when it comes to Hakanashi is that you have to have a you have to have a flat bottom, and if it was selling, we have to have a flat top. Not saying that it's still not carrying the momentum, because as you can see, these candles have wicks below them, but it's still carrying the momentum. But when you start seeing the flat bottom and the candle still open, like that's probably about to signify like a big push. And let's look what it looks like on a hour time frame. Yeah, so you can see these candles are bullish. This whole move is bullish. And when it's doing that, again, this is really just a trend sideways. It hasn't truly broken out yet. But when it breaks out, man, it's gonna have an unbelievably big bull candle. Like I said, that gives me the confidence that we're definitely going to 7K. And it seems like it could happen sooner than later because our next threshold would be that analysts have is 6,100. The next one after that is 6,500. So, I mean, the ball's in our park. You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense to just keep buying. Don't even look for sales, but obviously trade. Don't just try to invest. You know what I mean? Long term invest. And what I mean is that people get comfortable just buying at a random place and not actually trading. Like, nah, get that, hone in on that price where you think the market is going to react to and enter from there. But I mean, this is just a confirmation that we've been seeing. And again, like I haven't even looked at stocks today, but I'm going to look at them in a few. I'm sure the stock market is reflecting this. You know what I'm saying? Like just look across the board. So our last thing obviously would be US 30. And like I said, because we're buying, it's exciting, but this is how the move is when it's buying up. It's not as flashy as the sell was. The sell was like, oh my gosh, but the sell was also pretty rigorous on people. You know what I'm saying? So now that we're in buy territory, now we're in, you know what I'm saying, bulls are in, it's going to be slow. It's going to try to throw monkey wrenches at people, confusing your analysis so you can change your bias and shit. That's the whole game. That's the whole name of this game, is to take you out in this market. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose, but we can control how much we lose. You know what I'm saying? Man, this became more of a mentoring session than our live trading. But that's because like we've already been setting the tone for this. Like anybody that's been following Digital Goatz Academy, you should just be executing these trades fairly easy. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been setting the tone for that. We've been talking about this. We've been seeing how the market is supposed to react. We've been finding these levels that we needed the market to bounce off of too. We've been talking about what's going on, how the market is flowing, what's happening. So when you're what is confirming based off of the back testing, we've been doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, there should be people that's on my YouTube channel making money. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know how to trade already, as far as like the interface, which I believe like most people do. You know what I'm saying? If you follow my channel, you probably do know how to trade and stuff. Everybody should be making this money, but also adding to. You know what I'm saying? Adding to the pump of like you at the Dow Jones and S&P, especially with how stocks are doing. But anyway, that was just a off-site tangent. But again, we talked about this level here. Did I push out that video? I think I did. Yeah, I should have. Where I talked about this level. If not, this was definitely within my Discord group where we talked about. Again, look what happened at 8:30. That was CPR right there. Well, the 8 o'clock candle, because we're on the hour time frame. So the 8 a.m. candle, you see what that market did? And then guess what 9:30 did, or the 9 o'clock candle did? Retest. Oh my gosh, look what 10 o'clock did. It's buying back up. Like we're this stuff is like, it's just like not even rocket science. I'm sorry, like that. I'm like losing myself, but it's just at this point, it's like it's elementary, my dear Watson. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? You are still sharing this, right? Yeah. Okay. My bad. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I wanted to continue. Now I didn't look to see what other data we might have in the week. where the market could try to retrace back to these highs that were broken. So you just gotta obviously, manage your trade accordingly. But if there is some news that's going on that could trigger like a major sell back to these levels, it'll probably be like Friday. So once I look at that information, I'll have more to go off of and obviously to discuss tomorrow as well. But just looking at these patterns too, I've seen these patterns over and over. Like this is just the market telling us one, it was building liquidity, and then now the market is obviously bullish, but number one factor is that we finally reached an agreement with China. So if anybody's been following Bloomberg or just following the news, we've reached an agreement with China on these trade talks. So within these trade talks, like we've already predicted that. That's why it's like a no-brainer for me at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like we've already predicted that this was going to be the outcome, just because like why would we continue? It didn't benefit nobody. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like schoolyard bullying, where it's like one kid was trying to have the better toy than the other kid when it came to the tariffs. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thought process on that, and I was just looking from an investor perspective. I didn't think that that would continue or whatnot. Now, yeah, things could have gotten even worse, but I didn't think that that would continue. That Trump and China, I mean, the U.S. and China are going to keep pushing out these tariffs that were like just affecting everybody globally. You know what I'm saying? And no, I don't think nobody was winning at that time. I mean, maybe the powers to be, but I know everybody was hurting at that time. Come March, like, oh my gosh, a little bit before that as well. Like, and it's funny because it seems like we have reactions in March like that. What was the last? Just this is just conversation, but what was the last or event we had that took place in March that brought the market down? COVID. Ah, I didn't even think about. Well, no, I did because we were already looking for the market to sell, but I didn't even try to correlate the two because I don't go on conspiracies, but that stuff ain't conspiracy. You know what I mean? It's in the market. Like it's not. So it's almost like wow. It's coincidental that all of the indexes, futures and stuff tanked. You know what I'm saying in March, just like it did during COVID. So that's kind of crazy. And COVID that's 2020. That would have been considered 5 years ago. So it's normally that 4 to 5 window. Wow, man. But anyway, as you can see, US 30 is still remaining bullish. Like I said, as long as it remained, I didn't think that it was going to come down to these levels. Again, that 42 flat. The lowest level I think that I said that I believe that it was going to come back to was like 42.4, which didn't even come back to that. So that's good. And this is based off of like the move Sunday. So this is based off of Sunday. So we broke high, pushed down, and what was this? Is this Tuesday? Tuesday. We've been remaining above Tuesday. We tested back to Tuesday, and now we broke all these highs. And that's actually what I was expecting, man. I was actually like mentally thinking this picture, but I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know it would be like this. But this market is going to clear this wick, and then from there, again, you might have a pullback back to these zones. So just again, manage your trade accordingly. I mean, this is just it's just basic math at this point. You know what I'm saying? So just take the profit. Don't be trying to hold a Hail Mary and then the market goes against you because it has been sneaking those pullbacks in there. Like, what was it, Tuesday? 11 a.m. candle pulled back all the way to like 5 a.m. That shit was crazy. But I didn't predict that that would happen, but I annotated that the market could come back to that level. I wasn't sure. I said that the market could come back to that level, but in between, I was taking profit. So even when it did drop like that, it didn't affect me too much. You know what I'm saying? And it was very fast. So if somebody didn't have the capital, it wiped them out clean. And then I knew it wiped people out because it got bullish immediately after. Are we not talking about this? Like the science to trading, you know what I'm saying? We might do a segment on that, a science to trading. But I hope everybody found value in this training. Like I tried to make this as like straightforward as possible because I am doing it off of my iPhone. So I hope, you know what I'm saying, you guys found value in this training. I mean, this trading segment. So I will see everybody on the next video, which will be tomorrow. That'll be our another live trading segment. So just obviously my Discord group, y'all know I'll drop a message in the announcements tab. So everybody have a successful trading week. I think again, I said this before, I think this is a great year for retail traders and investors across the board. Hell, business owners, like start a business, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? But I will catch everybody on the next video with Digital Goats Academy. This is Antoine Ferrara signing out.